Hi, as you know, the Realm of Faith has gone virtual because of the COVID crisis. And the purpose of this video is to give you just one idea of a family-friendly way to do a virtual 5K. And it takes, this one starts out as just a suggestion, but it is a sort of an educational and a fun hike for the whole family. It starts at the High Point exit off I-90 and about a mile east of the Front Street exit in Issaquah. And so, without further ado, let's check out the trail.
So we're at the High Point parking lot, upper parking lot. I think we're going to start out with the Swamp Trail. See if we can get a good 5K course in there. Okay, onward. This is where we're starting the virtual 5K at the entrance to the Swamp Trail. Looks like Big Tree is 0.7 miles. And this is where the Swamp Trail turns into the Big Tree Trail. It's the Ruth Keys Big Tree Trail, and it would be a fun family project to do some research on who Ruth Keys really was. This one, we're passing along the way, and you know what? Why, Jingo? It's not exactly a small tree, but that ain't the big tree. Actually, the trail is one of those interpretive trails for kids. I've been passing most of the signs, but this is one of them. It talks about Doug and Zoe and the snake. So it's definitely good for younger kids. All right, things are kind of dark and kind of spooky as we go the last few feet that lead up to the infamous Big Tree. Ah, did someone cut down the... No, they didn't cut it down. It's over here. Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. It's the Big Tree. Let's see what the pamphlet says. Okay, let's see if we can get this in here. Okay, one of the largest and oldest trees on Tiger Mountain towers above you. It's a Douglas fir. It's sit here for 200 or 400 years, or maybe longer. No one knows why this one was spared. And they say that it wasn't logged back in the day when everything else was cut down, but you got to be careful around it so that it continues to survive. So here was some data on it, some trivia. The Big Tree is about 200 to 400 years old. Diameter of 9 foot. Circumference is 24 foot 4 inch. And there's no branches until you get up to 75 feet in the air. Wow, the Big Tree. This is what Tiger Mountain was populated with 130 years ago. Before we came in to try and build all our doggone houses. Right, well, moving on. So we went past the Big Tree and we're continuing on the Big Tree Trail. We're headed west, more or less, towards the new high school and the new junior high in Issaquah, that area. What we're trying to do is put together about half of a 5K so that we can turn around and complete our virtual 5K. So the tree was about 1 mile from the beginning of the trail, according to my watch anyway. I think the sign said it was actually only 7/10, so who knows who's right. And we're going to continue on, and we'll touch base once you figure out where we're turning around. And you come to an intersection where it says Now you're at the other end on the western side of the big tree, and there's a sign pointing you back towards the big tree. It says that where we started is 1.2 miles away. That's a High Point Trail here. And I got it at 1.27, but that's probably good. A margin of error. So what we're going to do here on our virtual 5K is we're going to turn right onto what is called the Brinks Trail to try and complete our distance as best we can. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to turn right at that intersection and follow the Brinks Trail. This is a good choice. The Brinks Trail has a really nice ravine and the beautiful sound of the freeway in the distance, with the 2 logs piled and the 1 log piled and the 2 trees. And it's kind of like right and around a little clearing. It's exactly 1.55 miles in. So if you come to here and turn around, you'll have exactly a 5K.
In the same.
That's one option. Some of you are wondering, how are we going to find those three trees and the 2 trees and the clearing? Well, it should be about 0.3 miles after you turn onto Brinks Trail, right? Be creative. We're continuing down Brinks to develop a second option for those who refuse to turn back but must go onward, always onward. Come to the Bonneville Power Line Trail, the second big power line on the Brinks. We'll see where, I'm not sure where to go, but we'll try crossing the power line and going back into the woods.
So that was a mistake. If you get to when you get to the second power line, do not continue across into the woods on the other side, because there's no trail. When you come to the second power line, which I think is called the Puget Power Line, turn right, come off of the Brink Trail, turn right, and head up the hill. You're kind of headed south, more or less, at this point, and you will be climbing up. And since we ran out of battery at this point, there'll be no more video real time during the hike. But you'll continue up until you get to the Puget Power Road, and then you'll make a left, and that road leads right back to the parking lot. And it's a nice walk. You'll pass a couple of lakes and some other features of interest, a place to sit and have a picnic. And as Providence would have it, we get exactly 3.1 miles when that road leads to the entrance to Swamp Trail, which is where we began. So we've shown 2 options, and one would be to go take Swamp to Big Tree to Brink and go out to that clearing with the 3 trees laying down and the 2 trees between them, which is about 1.55 miles, and then turn around, or continue on the Brink Trail to the Puget Power Line, turn right, take it up to the Puget Power Road, turn left, and take it back to where you started. These are 2 ways, 2 possibilities, both of which give you the opportunity to take the kids to see Big Tree and go through the Interpretive Trail, which would be fun, absolutely. Not a difficult hike, there's hardly any elevation gain at all, so it's like, it's not going to tax the young ones. Probably not stroller friendly, though, I would say. No, probably not. And what else? And obviously I have to make this point. A virtual run is just that. You can make your own course. We encourage you to make your own course. You don't have to come to the Big Tree Trail, please. This was just put together to show you one of the ways you might get something like this done, just to kind of stir the creative juices. All right. Sign up, register for the Run with Faith, find a course, have fun, and God bless you all.